Let me get this. All right, let's let some people log on here. By the time I get used to all this, like AD stuff and hybrid, it'll be over. I'm guessing about Thursday next week, I'll be like really into it. Okay. Send me a private message or a comment. Let me know you're here. You guys who are logging on. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the finish up the practice exam. And it was just, I think, one more. We'll see. We did this. Oh yeah, we skipped one here for some reason. I think I was trying to get it for time. This is one on the Quizlet that I'm going to go over, because it's been since the very beginning we did these. Let me underline that one so I forget. Okay, this one had like 3 verbs. It had sprechen, diskutieren. Remember that? Sprechen, diskutieren, reden, and then a preposition that went with it, and it would be like speak about, talk about, discuss about. And so here, number 13, number 13, wir sprechen blank die Lehrer in Oklahoma City. What's the preposition that goes along with sprechen? In English, we say we're speaking about. Remember what it is in German? It works for all 3 of those verbs I just mentioned. Speak, talk, and discuss. But what was anybody remember? 9? No one? Uber. Like, the way you get a ride when you need one. You go to a party, I don't need to tell you. But, you need a ride. Parents just aren't available at that moment. But I got to be careful because this is being recorded. It's going to go into the Google database and more importantly, the Cache database. All right, so this little foreign character thing is just not, because I'm only running Windows 95 here. I would just love to have Windows 2000. I don't think this computer can handle. It's not handling 95 very well. Okay, Uber. So here's the whole sentence now. I've finally written it out. Wir sprechen über. That would be the blank. What you put in the blank. Wir sprechen über die Lehrer, the teachers, in Oklahoma City. I see there was one more that we skipped over. I think I was just trying to get through some important ones. Here, number 11, 9. Yeah, number 11. Die Kinder, die Kinder danken. See, what's this word mean? Danken, you know that word. It's a verb. They thank, right? Die Kinder danken den Großeltern blank die Geschenke, the gifts. Fewer, right? So, here, I won't go through all that mess again. I'll just copy and paste, which is only half as bad. Okay, so fewer. So like danken, fewer, to thank for. You thank somebody for something. Here, die Kinder danken den Großeltern für die Geschenke, as you all should do. Thank your grandparents. If you don't, your parents will remind you. Hey, Cash is one of my new subscribers. Thanks, Cash. Smash that like button. I just say that like I'm a Twitcher or whatever. What are they called? Twitchers? No, Twitcher. Like I make Twitch videos. I like Twitcher better.
You're like a German influencer.
I am. I get this thing every year. It's this group that I'm in where they give you the top like 50 trendy new words used in German. And a lot of times most of them come from French, from English, from Italians, and it's different. Like usually they're foreign words. But last December was influencer. That was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay to say that in German. I like that. Yeah, I knew it wasn't English, but okay, I think we've done all of those. I was going to make sure, but we're going to go over a list or a vocab list like this that has these because we haven't talked about it in a little while. But that's part of this chapter. Let's just do this last thing here, which is again weather related. And in a complete sentence, explain what's happening with the weather. Use each icon as a guide. You may use nouns to describe the weather. You may use verbs. You may use adjectives, but don't use the same thing twice. So what do we got going on here in the number eins? Look at this gray cloud and the Harry Potter symbol coming out of it. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. But I think, would we say that about like the weather, like the cloud? Or how, like if you were talking about, this is the weather, you see this little icon on your phone, right? On your weather app or something. So what would you say to somebody? They ask, wie ist das Wetter heute? Okay, I'll take that. Das Wetter ist nicht gut. Let's go from there. What is that thing in the coming out of the cloud? Sorry? Lightning. So can we say something about that? What about this? Please look up here again. Es blitzt. Blitzt. Blitz or blitzen is the verb. Anybody? Come on, guys. Lightning. Yeah? Wherever there's lightning, there must also be donner. So we could say es donnert. That's the verb. Good. Does it always mean rain? Probably. We could say that. If you said that, I'd be fine. Es regnet. Good. Okay, that's five. That's four different answers. I only need one, but that gives you an idea. Let's look at this little snowflake here. Okay, so but how do we use this word schneit? It can't be on its own. Es schneit, right? It's a verb, so we got to put a subject in front of it. And like English, we use the word it for everything weather related. Es schneit, or what else can we say? Okay, more than likely. Es ist kalt. I'm going to use one that's a noun because schneien is a verb, but it's related to schneien and say es gibt Schnee. There's snow. So anytime you have a noun, like you could have gone back and said es gibt Donner, es gibt Blitz. If you want to talk about the weather as a noun, like there's rain today, or there's snow on the ground, or there's thunder and lightning. In German, that phrase there is es gibt. So es schneit, es ist kalt, es gibt Schnee. And like yesterday, we could say, just to be, we could say es ist 0 Grad, right? Let's just assume it's freezing, all right? Is that right? Is it? I keep asking that question, don't I? You're starting to think I'm losing my mind or something. 0 is freezing, right? Okay. Es schneit, es ist kalt, es gibt Schnee, es ist 0 Grad Celsius. You don't have to say Celsius, you don't want to, but if you say Fahrenheit, would you add that so I know yes what you're talking about? Okay, so here, this is a little bit easier, maybe. Okay, you got this here. Okay, so we can't just say regnet. Es regnet. No helping verb. Es regnet.
What's the word for cloudy?
Yeah, what is the word for cloudy? Good question.
I forgot. Cloudy.
That Wolke is a cloud. What's the adjective? Cloudy. Wolkig. So es ist wolkig. Yeah. What else can we say? There's not a whole lot we can say about it. There's a temperature. It could be a summer. It could be winter. You don't know when it is.
I feel like it'd be humid.
Okay. We do know that we have had that word on the other thing. And okay, it's this word. It's let me spell this one now. Feucht. There's two words for the feucht. Es ist feucht. Es regnet. Es ist wolkig. We could also say es ist. No, I do need it now. What's the season we think about rain? Frühling in particular. Thank you. Frühling. S is Frühling. You could add that too. That's not necessarily weather related, but it's certainly, it's good for me. Okay, number 4. Now we gotta,
Sonne, es ist Sonne. Es
okay,
Sonne.
good. And so as I said yesterday, if we say es ist sonnig, and that's a good sentence, there's another phrase we can use that really means the same thing. It can't be sunny unless this is happening.
Es ist warm.
Well, it could be sunny and cold, but
Oh, yeah.
look, I'm thinking about a different phrase though.
Oh, the sun is shining.
Tell me in German. Die Sonne,
Die Sonne scheint.
it's close to schneit, but one letter off. Scheint. It's like, look, see the first part of the word? Guys, look on the chart, on the board, please, guys. Up here, please. I'll wait for you. Okay, you finished? Can you close your game? Yeah, anyone who's looking down and not looking up right now. Okay, Sophie, you got that? You got to a place you can stop? Okay, so look at this word, die Sonne. And what's the first 6 letters there after Sonne?
Shine.
Shine.
Yeah.
But in German, it can't end that way. It's got to have a T on the end because it's the third person singular. Scheint. Die Sonne scheint. Don't say die Sonne ist scheinen. No helping verbs in German. Subject and verb. Die Sonne scheint. So if you're going to say es ist sonnig, if it's sunny, the sun is shining. I got news for you though. You ready, Graham? The sun's always shining. It doesn't matter. We don't like to talk about it, but it's because you can't see it.
Oh, yeah, because the clouds.
It's just the clouds, man. And even if it's not shining here, it's shining on the other side of the world somewhere.
Yep.
If the sun stops shining, then we got a problem. And we need to say our goodbyes to each other.
Wait, really?
It won't be long. How long can we live without the sun?
Wait.
Everything would fail crop-wise, and
Oh, yeah.
no more photosynthesis.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, that photosynthesis.
It's the best thing.
It's important.
I love it.
Okay, guys, what else can I say about it? We just got a big sun here. We could say,
I feel like it's going to be warm.
let's say that. That's just warm.
Because even if it's
Or-
cold when the sun is shining, it's like
Yes.
so warm.
I got you. That's true. Let's add this word too. Heiß. Because it could be, what's heiß? It's a little more than warm.
Oh, it's hot.
Right. So, guys, I hope you know these words. Kalt, kühl, warm, und heiß. In that order, from the coldest to the warmest, hottest. Kalt, kühl is less than kalt. And then warm, and then heiß. Right? 4 levels of, temperature, I guess? Oh, look, it's going to, no. Oh, man. Windows 95 just is not set up for this. You want to tell your parents to, get me a new laptop. We'll make a donation to the school.
Oh, we can do that for your next Christmas gift.
Well, I just thought maybe if like tomorrow you wanted to bring a computer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe you have a nice laptop that no one uses laying around the house.
Yeah.
Let's try ESET again. Tell your parents how long it took me to draw an ESET. That I've been up finally, and that's hardly what it looks like, but the computer is finally closest I'm going to get. But Heiß is spelled with ESET, H-E-I, ESET. So we got to have that. So it could be Heiß or warm. I agree with you. Usually when the sun shines, we associate that with warm or Heiß. So this here now, this is similar to what we had before, but what's going on here? Wolkig, yeah, definitely wolkig. Es ist wolkig. What else can we say about that?
Oh, die Sonne nicht scheint.
Okay, thank you. We can use all these negative things. Die Sonne, we don't want to separate subject and verb, but say die Sonne scheint now nicht. Although we know it's actually shining. Thank goodness. Ja, es ist wolkig, die Sonne scheint nicht. We can also say, I don't know, it depends on your, of course it can be cloudy, it can be hot, cloudy, it can be cold. Es ist wolkig, die Sonne scheint nicht. What else can we say about that?
I bet it's going to start raining.
Let's say that. So let's say es ist regnerisch. It's rainy. Es ist regnerisch. Maybe that means that 2 days, what day was it? Monday, this week, Tuesday this week, it was like regnerish. You could feel it in the air, like it was gonna like, and then it started misting a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I call regnerish.
I have such a good one for the answer.
Okay.
It's windy.
Es ist sehr windig, no?
Yeah. It's like.
Es ist, well, I'm gonna add the sehr, because it certainly does. Although,
I feel like it's more, I feel like tornadoes are always.
yes, they happen in between, well, we're getting close to the season right now.
It's coming.
March, April, and then all the way through the summer. Es ist warm, let's say warm.
Mhm.
Here's the word for this thing, though. You have to use the phrase es gibt again, because it's a noun. Es gibt, not that, not B-I-G-T. Es gibt, come on, all right. Einen Wirbelsturm.
Oh.
What's Wirbelsturm? A kind of storm. Yeah, wirbeln is like to what is if someone says like kids like wirbeln, like they stand in the middle of the playground and like spin in circles, you know what I mean? Like they'll just like put their arms out and they're just like
Also.
spinning, I guess, something like that, I guess, and then they get dizzy and they're kind of, that's wirbeln. But so a Wirbelsturm, that kind of makes sense. It kind of describes what a tornado does. But I've heard a lot of Germans say the word tornado also, because they know this word tornado because the German Army or Air Force has their jet fighter is called the Tornado. That's so they know the word, but anyway. That's three things. Sehr windig, es ist warm, es gibt einen Wirbelsturm. Do you know why we have so many tornadoes?
Because
No?
in the tornado alley.
We are, but explain that more deeper.
The hot air mixes with the cold air.
Where does the hot air come from?
Not Canada. The Gulf of Mexico.
Right, and it's hot, humid air. That's important too. It's hot, humid. It's very heavy air, and over the Rockies. We're just in this perfect point, if you want to call it perfect, where the warm, wet air comes up from the Gulf. The cold air is coming over the Rockies, and it meets in the Panhandle or in the Western Oklahoma, usually, but it comes this far too. And so hot air does what? Hot air rises. Cold air, and when it's heavy cold air, like humid cold air, and then when they, for whatever reason, now this part I don't understand, but when they hit each other up above and from beneath the hot air, it starts to circulate, and we're just like we're like in the perfect middle. It's almost halfway between, let's say, Houston and not exactly, but pretty close. But Kansas is in there too. Texas is in the middle of all this because the Rockies are all the way down in New Mexico, and well, even further than that. But
well, I'd rather tornadoes than hurricanes. Right?
Plus tornadoes. Now with today, like there's no reason for anyone to die in a tornado. Like we know it's coming.
Yeah.
All the technology now, they know it's coming like an hour before it gets here. Like it's I'm not saying people still might die because they think they're taking cover and they're not doing it right or something, but or their basement floods and they're stuck in there. That's happened, unfortunately. But
oh wait, so we should put rain.
it would probably rain. Now, if you've watched when there's a tornado actually on the ground, they can like tell you like what street it's on, like, and how many minutes they'll take it because they know how fast it's moving before it gets over to Sheridan or to Yale or to. It's like if you live in the 51st and Sheridan area, you need to take cover. It's like it's unbelievable. Like they're so like precise.
I feel like they don't hit Tulsa that often.
It's been a while since we had the last one we had, and there's still damage from it, is over on 41st by Bishop Kelly. That building is still unoccupied. Somebody bought it though. I read in the paper. That tall looks like a cigarette lighter. That tall building. It still has windows blown out of it and stuff. And then that Whataburger got demolished. That was the saddest part.
Yeah, that was.
And it just sat there. It's just sat there flat. I think they're not going to rebuild it. They're just going to tease me with that concrete slab. Then they rebuilt it with a double drive-through, man.
Really?
Oh, it's tech. It's high tech.
I need to go there. We should go there.
High tech. I think got robots making the burgers in there. They're delicious. Delicious.
Yeah.
It is good, I gotta tell you. I try to stay away from it here recently. Or if I go, I don't get the fries, you know. So, because if I got fries in the car with me, I can tell myself, oh, you have the willpower. I don't. I know it deep down. All right, let's get back to, let's look at this, and I'll post this. Here's this, let me share this with people. Okay, I'm going to share this, and this is the, thank you for checking in. Thank you, Cash. Cash says he can make is that Cash? He can make an infinite number of alternative accounts, and he can keep adding more subscribers to my channel. Thank you. If you can monetize my channel, I appreciate that. Or monetize anything that I have or do. All right, let's look at this, because I want to go, this is part of the exercise we did yesterday. Oh, that's not it. That's a different. This is the thing with the prepositions, with the verbs, like they're thanking their grandparents for something. Where is this? Here it is. Okay, let me go opposite with this. Can you guys look up here?
Yeah.
So, well, let's go to the beginning. To fight for, remember this one? To fight for?
I've been really focusing on the weather.
Kämpfen. You're gonna be Kämpfen, what'd you say? Für, right? Kämpfen für. And pay attention to, this we haven't talked about much. So these have this has a verb preposition. Hold on, this has a verb preposition thing in English too. These usually they do. Pay attention, that's a verb. And then to, or to fight. Fight is a verb you could use it on its own, but to fight for something, you have to have a preposition. This one is achten auf, I think. Achten auf, yeah. And to look forward to is sich freuen auf, or this is word about freuen auf, to work at, like you work at McDonald's or Whataburger. If you work at Whataburger, let me know. By. This actually was in the, we went over it yesterday, but to work at a company or something like that. Don't forget, by is a dative case preposition. Außer by. Good. On the beach or at the beach. Any body of water, we use the same basic preposition. On dem Strand, or yeah, I think it says on dem, yeah. On dem Strand. And we'll see that again with the two rivers. To taste like. Tastes like chicken.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, wait.
Schmecken nach.
Wait, I remember that.
Nach is also dative case. Außer bei mit seit nach von zu.
That song was kind of stuck in my head.
Oh, it should be.
Yeah.
Hope for. We had thank for. What about hope for? Ooh, that's believe in. But hoffen auf. Hoffen auf. Next one, to live with. Like you live with your parents, you live with your uncle or aunt, or you live with your brother or sister or your roommate or whoever. It's wohnen bei. We had bei earlier with arbeiten bei. To tell about something is erzählen von. Is fun also dative case? Außer bei mit seit nach fun zu. Interested in. Interessieren. No, it's this is weird though. Für. Yeah, I'm interested for something. I don't know. To work on. We have work at, like I work at a company. Right. Arbeiten an. It's dative case. To wait for, to wait on. It's the same word in German. This came up in the practice test too. Warten auf. To ask about. We're lost. We've got to ask about where we are. Fragen nach. Now, here's the one on the river. So this is not the beach. Generally, rivers don't talk about beaches, but we're still going to use the same preposition, on. But this is that deal where the rivers are, this one happens to be a feminine, die Elbe. as opposed to later der Rhein. Here's the phrase, an der Elbe. At an dem Strand. It's weird because an usually is the vertical things, but with rivers or lakes and rivers are usually flat, right? Almost always. And so, but we say an for whatever reason, I don't know. That's an old one to consist, old, seems like bestehen aus, consist of. Believe in, this is one that came up on the practice test. Glauben an. Ja, glauben an. Ich glaube an Bigfoot. Ich glaube an UFOs. What are UFOs? Right there. UFOs.
Do you believe in those?
No, not really.
Do you believe in Bigfoot, right? Yeah.
I believe, can I tell you what
Yeah.
it's not a matter of belief. Belief is a matter of faith.
Yeah. You know.
I know that there is enough empirical scientific evidence that the topic should be pursued more seriously.
I agree with
So this is in the realm of science and zoology and anatomy, and believing is like, I believe, yeah, save me, that's good stuff, right?
Yeah.
But people who are in science don't deal with theology, and people in theology are not, that's a more different but people say it all the time, oh, I believe in UFOs.
No,
Like as if it's some kind of faith or something, yeah. But
there's so much proof.
some people are involved in these UFO cults, though. Maybe they do believe, but I don't know. But on the internet, it's M internet, and it's that was our bonus that time. To get used to, it's we haven't used any. It's gewöhnen an, and I want to get to the one help with. There's a good one too. Help with. Let's see what the card says. Yes. Jawohl. Write to. I'm going to write a letter to you. Schreiben is right. Schreiben an. So it could be an email. Ich schreibe eine E-Mail on, on Charlotte. Okay. So going home. This is just a phrase. Doesn't involve the verb to go really, but it came up yesterday too. Nach Hause. You're headed towards your home or your house. Here's the Rhine. We have an der Elbe, but the Rhine is a masculine word. So it would be more like the beach again. An dem Rhein or am Rhein, because it can be contracted. An dem can become am, and it quite often does. Care for, it haven't seen that in a while. Sorgen für. I'm going to run out of time here. Well, no, we're not. To be afraid of. This is a bit longer. It's because the Germans don't say, they say, I have fear of something. That's how they express it. Yeah, Angst is the word. Angst haben vor. We're afraid of things. They have things, this actually means before. Like before, like I'm standing in front of it. Like I'm standing before a ghost, in front of a ghost, and ich habe Angst vor Poltergeist, and you know Poltergeist, right?
Yeah.
We should watch that movie. That's a German word. Here's the one I talked about just a little bit ago. Sprechen. What's the preposition about? Sprechen. Nein. Anybody? Could be reden, also to talk, diskutieren. You just told me, Graham. Über. We just put it in the blank a minute ago. But all these work. Reden to talk, sprechen to speak, diskutieren to discuss, about. Über is the preposition for all those. To think of. I'm thinking of you. Oh. Denken, not Duncan, but denken an. Thinking on you. Now we had that earlier. Thank for the grandparents. It was Duncan. That's good. They're together. Denken an, Duncan für. To look for. Can I point something out about this picture that? What's going on here? This guy's face.
Yeah, I think that's hair and their noses and their glass and
I don't like to make fun of people or point out their deformities, whatever, but let's do point this out though. Oh, that's weird. I go backwards and make it. Okay. Anyway, what's the Okay. To look for is suchen nach. Look for. Couple more. Vote for is stimmen für. Which Stimme, the noun, Stimme is your voice. You see how that relates to voting? What do they say? Let your voice be heard. Go vote. Because a lot of times in settings, like in a parliament or Congress, they'll just take a voice, they'll say, the ayes, aye, the nays, nay. Ayes have it. It's your voice. But this is the verb that they still use in German, to voice your opinion, voice your vote, für. Okay, and allergic to, I spoke this yesterday, allergic to? Allergisch?
Yes.
And what's the to part?
Yes.
Nein, gegen. Allergisch gegen. It's against. I'm allergic against something. That sounds like the opposite. At the computer, on the computer?
On the computer.
There we go. So am Computer, on dem Computer. I'll take either one of those. And the last one, to be on the phone with someone. Telefonieren mit. Telefonieren mit. Okay, I'm going to post that in the, in fact, let me do that right now. I'm going to sign off the, okay, people at home, zu Hause. Ja, ich sage euch auf Wiedersehen und schönes Wochenende. Somebody bought the building. Okay. So, ich sage euch auf Wiedersehen bis, ich sehe euch am Montag. You guys' test is on Wednesday, people at home. Test over chapter 3a is Wednesday. Tschüss.